Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take my resume and update it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go through some Claude skills and show you how I could do this. Well, first I'm going to use this skill called Create Claude Folder. So let's see what happens with this. This is in my root directory, and what it does is it goes into Claude. It goes into it. Okay, let's talk about what it does. It creates a new project folder, and I'm going to call it Resume Update. It's going to create all the folders in that folder. It's going to create all the directories in that folder, that new folder. It's going to instantiate a new Claude session. It's going to get me started on a new project. All right, so let's just try it, and I'll show you what this does. So I'm creating a new Claude folder, and I'm just in this particular folder called resumes, and I need to create another folder because I want to do something distinct. So it's going to be called Resume Update. It's going to create the source, the output files, the Claude directory, and let's just see how simple this might be. It's going to write the .env file. It's going to create a Python folder. This is the Python virtual environment. This is my environment file. Just yes to everything. I'm just going to say yes to everything. I'm just doing this temporarily, approving everything because this is a new skill I created, so I want to make sure that it writes a README file, it writes a Claude.md file, it gets me started producing what I want. Now I'm just going to move forward. I don't have a rules directory. There's some directories that are missing there, but I'm not doing anything too complicated right now. What I want to do I'm learning how to organize projects and folders, and right now I'm keeping them a little bit separate so they don't affect each other. So I'm taking this conservative approach. I'm using Python 3.14. I'm creating a virtual environment, and it's going to be here. Now this is all run by a skill that I created. I created a skill called Create Claude Folder, and I'm telling it to create a new project, a new folder, and CD me in there, start a new Claude session. So let's just see if this works. It did work the other day. Like I said, there's some things I might be missing that I want to include in there, and I will change the skill. But it is creating a GitHub repo using a token that I have in the root folder. I'm trying to make this as efficient as possible, where I don't have to redo everything just to create a new folder. So there's people out there that have skills to do the right thing. I created my own skill, and I will enhance it when I need it. So it did create the new branch. Resume Update is the new repo. It's telling me that here. And it is supposed to store the new directory structure in the files in GitHub initially as its first, as one of its tasks to do this. Now, it's CD'd into the repo. It's changing the view of Visual Source Code to that new folder. So here I am. I have my folder. I'm going to do this. Now, what I'm going to do, because I don't know if this worked last time, it created a new Claude session. I want to be in here. I got my Claude chat in my browser right now, so I try to do things separately in them, browser versus IDE. Probably better off using the chat in here, but let me just see if the GitHub repo was stored. Okay, so see, I keep my Claude separate here. Let me see, GitHub Steve Bonacontri. Let me see if my repo got saved. I haven't really completely checked that the repo being saved is working. I mean, it's working, but I might want it to work a different way. I mean, one reason is I don't understand why these are showing up this way. And I'm seeing something a little different than what I'm used to. So let me just go over here. Let's just make sure. If this didn't, I was supposed to do a push after the directory was created and I started a new session. It's supposed to do a push. Now I don't know if it did it, but I'm going to try it this way. Okay, so that's something wrong with my skill. I was supposed to push it. Yeah, it was pushed. There's nothing to push. So going back to my I was a little bit confused because it was showing me it the other day. So here's my new repo, and this was just creating my folder, my files, and storing it into GitHub. However, once I start working, these things are going to get updated, and I'm going to keep pushing this thing. So so this is what I have so far. The README file is here. Nothing complicated because it's just a new folder. I didn't do anything yet. However, there is I did create a dummy skill, which I haven't defined yet. Settings for permissions. I have a Claude MD file. You know, like I said, every time I change this thing and update it, I'm going to say, you know, fix all the files. And Claude should do that. And I have no source directory or input and output folder because I really didn't do anything yet. So let's continue. So it did push my file, so that was good. I didn't see it happen, but so anyway, what I want to do is what I wanted to do is I have a file here. I just I just wrote. Where is it? Is this it? This is it over here. Okay, so let's see the output files. Where's the input files? Okay, source. Huh. Okay, so I'm gonna say create. Okay, so first I check. I gotta make sure that my Claude session is running in my folder. So I just say what folder am sorry about spelling. Okay, so I'm in the right folder. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is go into plan mode real quick. I wanted to know that I'm planning something here while I'm telling it what I want. I guess I'm surprised there's no input files here. Okay, so let me just say create an input files directory in my folder. I'm going to say use whatever you have to use, Claude. I'm just trying to understand. Okay, so now there's my input files. I'm going to paste my resume. Let's see. Okay, so my resume here shows up. Now, in some sense, I don't really have a plan for what I'm going to do with this project. So it went into automatic. Let me go into plan mode. Okay. 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 Edit plan to be able to read the input file and modify it based on instructions. Okay, so you don't really need anything this complicated with Claude. I'm just trying to go through the motion of, usually these things start out really simple and then get a little bit more complicated. Python doesn't exist. What type of file would you put in the input files? I'm going to say Claude prompt at runtime, because I'm going to be just telling it what I want to do with my resume. And I'm going to start with something simple. I'm going to say no keep planning, because I forgot to say put destination file that is modified in output files directory. Okay, first of all, you know I could just talk to this thing with this. I should be doing that. Let me destination. There's an output files directory. Yes. Now, although I'm planning and telling this thing what I want, the plan already writes out to output files. Let's make more prominent plan, then present it for approval. And I'm going to I'm just going to say yes. And whatever it needs, it's going to want to install some. I'm just yesing it to death just to make sure it has what it needs. But at this point, I'm starting to think, check all my files and update them if necessary. Might be a good prompt just to see if everything is being done properly and I'm in sync. So I'll just do that very quickly. There's some things I noticed with my resume. I want to say AWS Connect Architect, AWS Connect and Agentic AI Architect. I want to put that under here. I want this AI project. I really want the AI projects on top of the skills, but I also want this thing bulleted, and I don't want it all in bold. Okay, so the main is ready. So I'm going to first say update all files and fix everything. I don't think I'm going to say update all files. I just wanted to fix everything. There might be nothing wrong with this. It might be working, but I always like to do this double check for me before we move on, because I'm going to do something very simple and I want it to work and I don't want to waste my time. So okay, there's something else in the plan I wanted to do. I wanted to rename my destination with a date, but let's just see what happens here. And I'm chewing up tokens, which I should check later on, but input files, it's trying to check everything, and now what am I using? I'm not using my environment file, not my virtual environment file I'm using. So Claude's going to use that to write Python code and stuff like that. But what I'm not using is my environment file for this folder, because I'm not using my Amazon account, and I'm also not using, well, if I use GitHub, yeah, so let's go back. Let's make sure 3 fixes applied. Okay, looks like they're all reasonable. Okay, now let's just do one thing. I want to see the environment file, because okay, so the environment file, interesting enough, got updated with my new repo name, my new folder name, my new repo name. So that's how my skill must have done that. To create a new folder with the folder name, create the GitHub repo environment with the resume with the folder name. So I think I'm good. And now I want to do this. I'm not going to create a skill. I'm just going to tell it what to do. Okay, so okay, I'm going to just say this. On the second line, under my name, put my position. Now, I could be creating a skill to do this. I did this before. I just, make a modification or merge resumes or add a line to the code. I'm just gonna talk to this thing. Yeah. Here, let's do this because this is getting too slow. Let me talk to this thing. On the resume, I want you to modify and put under my name, Steve Bonacontri, the second line I want it to show AWS Architect. Scratch that. Wait a minute, let me see something. On my resume, under my name, Steve Bonacontri, please put my position, AWS Connect Agentic AI Architect. That's Agentic AI. Agentic AI. No, I don't like this at all. Modify my resume so that under my name, Steve Bonacontri, there is a title of the position that I have, and that is an AWS Connect Agentic AI Architect. So now I'm gonna submit this, and I'm gonna see. It's supposed to be reading this. It's supposed to be modifying this. So a lot of times I run this stuff through AI, and there's always something wrong. I don't want it to. So now I'm just waiting for the output, and I want to see. I didn't tell it what font to use, so most likely I'm going to be changing the font. But let's see. And as you could see, in some sense, a skill was needed because I'm going to be doing this and changing it and fixing it. And if you have a skill, you have a plan, a well-defined plan and a skill, you would be able to do this in one shot. But I only have to make a couple of changes. I want to make one. I want the title to appear, and another thing that bothers me. See, I don't know what kind of file it's going to write. The name of the file. Now, it's called an API, which I think is interesting because that's costing me some tokens on the back end. But it could have used a Python. It could have created a Python code and done this in place. But I didn't instruct it to do that. So there you have it. That's why instructions and prompts are really important. Now I'm just trying to see. I didn't see it output, but let's just see output. I told it the output had to be PDF. So and it totally wiped out my original file, which is not good. So I'm gonna this is what I have to do, and like I said, this is the result of not having a well-defined plan and working it out. But I like I said, I'm just trying to do some simple things. Okay, let me go into a plan mode. Plan. Make sure plan creates a PDF file and appends today's date in the file name Now, the problem with me not having a plan is I'm just telling it what to do. So I told it to update the plan, but I also want the code to run and reproduce the file. Okay, so it's now, it looks like it's trying to figure out whether it has the right dependency packages there. And notice over here, if you look at the libs here, you will see all the libraries you have access to that Claude has access to in creating and running these files. Now notice it might produce the PDF now, but I don't know whether I've gone through different steps that were not legit. So so there it is. No, it's not. Let me just wait for it to run. You might be asking yourself, now it's telling me to run it. Just that way. Okay, run. I'm just gonna say run it. Why are you asking me and telling me to run it? So this is the problem with like I said, if at a scale. See, now it didn't. I mean, in some sense, it knew what I wanted to do. I don't know why it asked me that, because in the text file it has the title. And now just keep in mind, it's calling my Claude API, which is good. I think it probably works better than if I was trying to do it in Python on my local machine. The Python on local machine is probably just calling the API. So this is just a little demo to see how well this works. But the next thing I'm going to do is take this section. There's a couple of things I want to do. I'm going to take this section, make it, I'm going to make it bulleted, and this is going to be non-bold. I want this employment history down on the next page. And I could create a plan to, and I might want to put this above my skills. But like I said, if my title of my position is here, then that would be pretty important for me, because it was originally there. It just got AI sort of took it and formatted it and stuff. Oh, once again, I didn't tell it what font to use. And I try to do one thing at a time with the resume, because I don't see, one thing I didn't do in my instructions is say don't touch anything else, right? I didn't give any instructions not to modify anything else. So let's just see what goes on. Well, the date wasn't here, but I really didn't want to modify it. I just wanted the date here. But let's see what happens. Yeah, this could be costing me more than necessary, because it's using the APIs. You might be wondering why I'm doing this. My hard drive crashed, and I'm on a Mac, and every time I go to edit this thing, something goes wrong on the Mac. So basically, I'm just running it through Claude, and I merged two resumes, an old one, a new one, got all the jobs in there, and I just tried to get it presentable. But I've been in the business for many years, and my resume is kind of large. But I'm just trying to get some work now. So let's see. This is taking a long time. This doesn't usually take this long. And part of it is, I don't think I wanted to call in the API, but it did. Okay, so yeah, so this is, like I said, the problem here is I'm gonna try to do some more edits on this, but I think the first priority is get the name there. Now, Claude does have workflows. You can tell it do one thing, then do another thing, then do another thing. And I think when you're building a large website, it's good to like do phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, because you're building on something really big. But in this sense, I'm doing something so simple. I don't know if I have a doc file that I could just edit, but like I said, it's been many months of me trying to figure out what to do. And the thing I like about, one thing that Claude did was format my resume, and I really like the format. But it isn't the font that I chose, but it got something very close. So now, so in the meantime, what I'm going to do is, what I'm going to do is let's look at this and see what we got here. This is what Claude produced. Okay, so it is using the environment. Okay, so this is done. It shows me the output file. So let's see where we are with that. Oh, it appended the date on this thing. So that's not good, but that's minor. Let's just see. Oh, see what it did? Totally ruined my resume. Okay. So that didn't work. So what I'm going to do is let me go into plan mode again. Let me go into plan mode. And this is a good exercise because interactive talking to Claude is a good thing, but this happened because I wasn't really specific enough for what I wanted. Okay, so I'm in plan mode. Please make changes. Please add the title without I'm going to say this. Also, output file name should contain one date. What did he call this? And so basically, you know, I'm doing this kind of the long way. I'm experimenting with Claude, but I am getting familiar with how Claude wants to talk to me and how I should talk to it. So until you experiment with these things and test things out, you can't really design this skill. If you want to create a skill to run this job, it's hard to do unless you know what you're doing, what you should tell it, what not to tell it, and so, you know, this is just a throwaway thing for me. It's just a simple thing I want to do. I happen to be recording it because I think it might be useful to learn. Okay, it's telling me that what it was doing, which I kind of figured that. So you gotta edit the original, insert the title, and insert title into PDF without changing. Okay, I'm just gonna accept this plan. Like I said, with Claude, I'm just talking to it until I get something to work. Once I get something to work, then I know exactly what my skill is going to be. I'm going to do the same exact folder structure with the input file, and I'm going to give it a plan that makes more sense. Now, keep in mind, that we're in a Claude session. It should be keeping track of everything I'm telling it and everything it's telling me. It should be able to create the plan, and the Claude MD file should wind up with something that's reasonable. So that's why, like I said, I always say fix all files just for the fun of it. Okay, so this, so let's see what happened here. Oh, notice it, and it left off the merge here, but that's okay. I really don't need the merge name. Okay, that didn't work at all. Okay, where's my title? Where is my title? See, this is, I got the feeling that it didn't get my, even though I told it and it was in session, it didn't pick it up. So that's why I like a nice skill set and even a new session once in a while, because I want it to work with a new session. I just want to run the skill. In this case, it's a skill just to include a line. It's irrelevant. And you people might be saying, "Why are you doing this just to modify a resume?" But it's true that Python does nice things with PDFs, and it's good to be able to take PDFs and run Python code and modify it. And most of this stuff is like grab a table out of a PDF and put it on a web page or something. But this is even simpler. But I'm surprised that the title didn't come up. And the thing is, I don't have time to check if it put it anywhere else. So I don't know if it ruined my resume. Needless to say, it's a little bit ruined as it is. Who would have thought that my publication would be the most interesting I ever did in my life? Okay, let's try it. Found the issue. The name ends in this, but the contact line starts at this. The only 6-point gap. I'm hoping it still knows what my position is. Okay, so it's saying it. Oh, it modified it again. It didn't put it. Okay, let's do this. My position title is AWS Connect Architect. I'm a material girl. Let's see. AWS Connect Agentic AI Architect. Okay, so let's see. Now you gotta wonder, using Claude to do this when I could have just wrote my own Python code to do this. But it's better that Claude does this, because who the hell wants to do this right now? If I get this working and it updates all the files, it should work correctly next time I go into this folder. Oh no. I'm sorry about this. This is not. I don't know if that was the proper font. So what I'm going to do is get these spellings over here. You know, this is nice because, like I said, I wanted to use a certain font, and then it gave me this resume, and I just stuck with the font. So now it's telling me what the font is, what the size is, and now I'm telling it that I want my title to oh, I like that a little bit better. So um, that's nice. Okay, so what I'm going to do, what I want to do is okay, done. Okay, now take this section. I'm going to get sloppy here. Now take the um, I think before I do that, I want to oh, what the hell? Let's try it. See, I'm giving it a vague instruction. I don't know whether it's going to understand what I'm saying. So I could be doing damage to my resume, but I'm willing to. I still have the original input file, so I'm not too concerned. So, like I said, it's better if you have a well-defined plan. You're creating a skill, and I do have a skill file here. I just I don't think it's updated with anything, but let's just see. Let's just see what this does. If this moves this line here properly, which I don't think it's going to, but if it moves it properly, then we're fine. If not, I might have to go back to the previous version of my resume, which there's a Claude command to do that. Okay, so it looks, yuck. Looks like it broke my resume. But let's do one more thing. Let me save this. Modify the section of the resume so that the items are bulleted and the bulleted items are not bold. Okay, so this problem here, I'm going to let's just see if this changes, right? Okay, and like you said, like you, there are some things that are simple and intelligent, but you have to be careful with AI on your resume. There's no doubt that if you run it through an AI program, you can get fantastic formatting and everything looks fantastic, but you didn't realize it truncated like 4 jobs or something. So it's hard to tell what's going on. So I don't really recommend doing this, but PDF, modifying PDF and doing things for your job is really important, and Python is the way to go with that, and it seems to be it seems to do a good job on it. So I would think Claude would be able to do what I want to do, but I'm not really giving this as precise instructions as I should. So shame on me. But let's see. Let's just try one more thing to see if this section gets modified. Now my prompt was very vague. I don't know if it understood what I was trying to say. But let's see now. And notice the bullets are question marks. I don't know what it's doing right now. It's giving me a bunch of, it's thinking about a bunch of things. And like I said, I'm going to end this very shortly because this was definitely not something I wanted to take an hour for, but it's worth trial and error of this stuff and being able to find out how you give incorrect prompts, how you you notice the question mark. Okay, I'm not gonna waste any. Let's. I don't like the way it did this bullets here, and then appropriately. For agentic AI projects. So, when you first start using Claude, you start doing things like this. It's good to understand how you could have a conversation with Claude, how it, things to be careful of. Is it using the original file that I have in, or is it modifying the output file? Like, what's it doing at this point? Well, if it's modifying the destination file, that's okay as long as it keeps track of the plan, and we could update the plan with whatever's happening, so it's being done consistently. It turns out I just want to do this once, and I don't really care about this folder after that. But let's just try. Let's just try. To see. Okay, that kind of works. So it understood me. I'm just gonna say that just to see if that comes out better. Okay, I'll settle for that. Okay, and now regardless of what happens here, I don't think that really did anything. Okay, and I'm just going to do one thing. For section employment history, add 3 points above and remove white space for jobs to, I don't know what page this is. This is page 2. And what we're going to do is we're going to end this video, but as inefficient as it was, you just notice that you can keep talking to Claude and changing things until you get what you need. And but like I said, we will make sure that it remembers everything we did in the session, and we Okay, so we're still running this file here. Sorry, I just wanted to see. It looks like it was written. Oh, that's really weird. Look, employment history was moved, but the line wasn't moved. That really is weird. So as you can see, you know, if I said I want to create a skill, I want to do this, and I run the skill, it'll make the modification. If I update the skill and run it again, it'll make the modification. But right now I don't have, all I have is, well, at least it put the, and so there's just one thing here. Okay, one final change. The employment history line should be underneath the text. So anyway, I think we I think it's interesting to see what Claude is doing, but you know, that's the way we used to do things in the old days. But so you notice it's mentioning rules here, so I need some rules to do some things. Okay, look. Oh, weird. So anyway, we're gonna end this video because I kind of I don't know what this is. I really don't know what this is. So my bullets are okay, but oh, there's some text there. I can't tell. Okay. Okay, so like I said, we're pretty much done with this video. But now I just want to make sure that I know how to take my Claude session and make sure that all the files in the directory are updated so that all the chitter chatter back and forth, that I create the README file correctly, the Claude.md file, and all that other stuff. So it should, like I said, usually I do that as I just say fix necessary files or update necessary files, and it goes and looks at my directory and tries to figure out what needs to be done, if anything. So basically, that's what I'm going to do. If this thing clears up, and then let's just see if this clears up, and whether it clears up or not, I'm going to end the video. But I just want to see whether I can get this the way I want to. And I'm going to copy this resume to my desktop and use it, because I don't like what I do know is that I had my agentic AI projects up here, and somehow some AI program took it and moved it back down. So I don't, if I change anything, that's the next change I will make. But the important thing was putting my title of this is what this is sort of what I am these days. I'm really specialized in AWS, Connect, Bedrock, Agent Core, etc. I could do a lot of things in AWS, but this is sort of what I want to do. I think Claude said there was some bleeding here. So anyway, I think what I've proved is getting the job done is one thing, but doing it correctly with Claude is another. So that fixed it. So this particular word was supposed to be here. Okay, so at least we know what it is, but it fixed this thing. So the business word here was supposed to be on this line. I don't know how it changed. And like I said, this is just a demo. Anyway, I think we're good. And like I said, this is telling Claude what to do, how to do it. Now notice I did run a skill to generate my folders, and I thought this was going to be simple because I was just going to tell it to add a line, and it turns out that it turns out that we went down a rabbit hole a couple of times, but we're not supposed to be doing this anyway. The source code, I don't know, some doc file somewhere. I don't know where it is, but the problem is my PDF file got modified by an AI program, and then I wanted a small modified version of that one, because I wanted to format it. And then I went around into the circle, and so I don't know why this showed up this way. Looks like the bottom margin is but by the way, this is such a simple example of side effects of what might happen with AI, but it is a serious problem, even though in this document it's like irrelevant. But if you don't have complete control of what's happening, it's not good. And this is just a small example of it. Looks like this was on one line and it put it on a different line. Oh look, it totally removed my my employment history here. So as you can see, there are some issues. You gotta be very careful. Well, maybe let's see what it's doing. Okay, put it back. Okay, here's what I wanted, the update. So now when I do a push, I'm going to just do a push temporarily because I wanted to save everything that we've done in the README files and the Claude MD file and everything else like that. But I still have to go back and fix this. Okay, so I pushed it to GitHub. Okay, that's all we're going to talk about. Sorry this took so long. It is a good it's a good learning experience to find out how Claude works. Now Claude, in some sense, Claude wants you to tell it what the end result is, and it wants to be able to do what it wants to do. So in that sense, that's fine. And you know, so when I told it what I wanted here, it moved this thing up here. But why was this business down here on top of here when there's so much space up here? So I don't know the answers to those things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just fix this right now, but we'll end the video and push this out to YouTube just so people see easily how something you could do something even though it took time. But I think at this point I have I'll try creating a skill in my folder and making this official, but right now you could see how you can get to the proper destination eventually just by telling Claude what to do, and Claude's talking to you and you're talking to Claude, and I got what I want in some sense. Talk to you soon. Bye.